open that back door. Assalamu alaikum. You all may be seated. Thank you all for those that did come out. I don't know what I can say behind that. It seemed to have been pretty thorough. However, I'm the individual that has the knowledge that you need to actually be saved, and it's my duty to share it with you if you want it. If you don't want it, well, let it do like the rock. The water runs on it and just runs off. However, I wouldn't want to be in your shoes at the final hour. Just from the showing that is here. How many haven't heard me before? All right. I hope today we're going to open up the floor very shortly, so you may ask me questions if you would like to. I've been speaking now for some time and also doing, as what the secretary read to you or told you about what we're doing there in Kansas City. We have to have a centralized place to actually get things going, have a foundation, and we're doing that. It's not in Chicago, although we will be there shortly. But the actual heartbeat is in Kansas City, or the center of this country. I'm working on all four sides of it, and sooner or later, you're going to be there in Kansas. Believe me. If you participate with us, you can say that you have a say in what goes on, or you can be proud of preparing a place for when you arrive. You know, this is what we do as being God or goddesses. We always move in a way where we already got tomorrow secured. Are you all listening? I had thought on the way here, before I got here, what I would actually say to you all, those of you that did actually show up, and the ones that will be hearing the tape. You know, if you can't think a thing, you can't do it. And if someone else is capable and able to think before you and better than you, you're going to be that person's slave. Because you will not be able to get out of what they have thought. If they plan something for you and you are unable to think or won't think, you're in that person's mercy. In order for each one of us to be ourselves as what we should be, you have to learn how to think and think accurately. In order to think accurately, you must have definiteness or a base. You cannot think from the man that has already put before you things that he wants you to think of, and they're not right. They are opinions or things that we all know. Reverend Oliver, he's going to be setting up to tape this. I don't know how good it's going to come out that the light is so bad here. However, if he don't get me on film, I hope he gets the words. And you all also. Why is it? I think this is the 7th time that I personally have been here. And I think this is the 3rd or the 4th time that I've spoke in this church from this rostrum. The last time it was rather packed. What is it about your thinking that makes you think that I'm a fraud? What is it about your thinking that makes you think that this can't be true? What is it that you have that you are doing to bear witness that your thoughts are correct? And what makes you think that you have time to develop something if you don't know the time of God and His time? What makes you think that you have the understanding of the Bible when I didn't write it? Just a few questions that I'm asking you. If I didn't show up as promised and start the mathematical thinking classes, not for you to learn how to think on a thing, however, for you to learn how to think, period. Regardless of what you're thinking on or thinking about, you can reach an absolute conclusion. Nobody's doing that. And if I'm teaching you this automatically means you are not no follower of mine. The process of thought itself frees you. You don't worship me. I don't need you to worship me. You don't worship no man, no flesh. Because the principalities, or what was just read to you, the unseen powers, Satan, that you've been working with all along and didn't know it, has already engulfed you. There's no way in the world you're going to use his formula and get out of what he got you in. And it's not something from the outside of you that's dealing with you. Yes, that's magnified on the outside. Whatever's happening with you on the outside is magnifying him that's in you. So if I don't show up, it's no way possible for you to ever break the grip of what he's got you in. This is why the question was asked, even as far as the flesh is concerned. Who is able to make war with the beast? Satan is not the beast. The beast is his made man specially to work just for him. Are you all listening? Yes, I've said these things many times. The good thing about me, I would say more than good, I don't just talk. How many of y'all have tapes of mine that you listen to or study? How many of you all have heard on the tapes any error that I made? How many people that you've talked to or have offered the tapes to refused them? How many of you have witnessed this? You know, it's really mind-boggling to a degree. I really only came after those that is called or styled as being the righteous. The rest of you all, if you want to be with the righteous, you will be with us in such a way where you won't be right with us. You'll be somewhat like servants. Why take that post if you can actually be the righteous, the peacemakers? And the only way you can be a peacemaker, you got to have knowledge of what was, what is, and what shall be. And that knowledge that you have has got to be right and exact. It cannot be your opinion or what you figured out or what you heard the minister say. It's got to be right. And it's got to be based on the facts, truth. From what, let me put it this way, the brotherhood here in Los Angeles, California, has never been at no staggering number. Now it seems to be even less because I have been removing them from here and bringing them to Kansas to actually build this heaven. So this is one of the places I'm taking first to make sure before we take this piece of land that those that are righteous will have been gone. They won't be here when that actually takes place. And perhaps maybe you think this is never going to happen in your lifetime. Well, if I'm here and you can't bear witness to anything that I'm saying or doing that's wrong, what's left for God to do? If he does everything right and what I'm doing is right, why are you looking for somebody else? Just mathematical thinking. That makes sense? Well, we're actually doing this. We're calling the people, those that have accepted to be with me or be with right, based on the truth of right. Almost every month, every 2 months, we are sending for someone here. Take them into Kansas to go to work to actually provide this physical place that we will call heaven on earth. You know, like, you remember the Lord's Prayer? Well, we are building that. Period. We're building it. However, it's so few of us that's doing it, it almost looks like it's futile. Because most of you all, and I'm not talking about the ones that are right here, sitting here watching and listening, but as a people, most of you all want to stay away from me. Because you think that I'm not going to be successful. There's no way in the world I can be successful over this Caucasian. This man is going out into space. You better think again. What has he got? Everything he offers you, he comes back and says, well, here's the side effect that we found out. So I think maybe perhaps we better change and do thus and so. But you're with him all your heart, all your mind, all your soul, you think that he's so powerful. When the real enemy is in you. The one that's open, that's outside, he just helps to magnify this inside of you. He won't let you think right. Black man, he won't let you think right. This is what Satan says to you. When absolute shows up in your face, now I hope you listen. When the absolute truth shows up directly in your face, that's a direct insult to Satan. So what Satan tells you, you don't listen to him. He ain't got to be right. It could be so and so and so. That's his opinion. However, you can't find where it's wrong. Then he will send to you somebody else. A minister. Now, we're speaking about this as far as on the spiritual sense. Because if you haven't got it there, you can forget about the other two. The mental and the physical, you can forget it. It's gone. You lost. Because neither one of the other two levels is the essence of what you're doing. So they'll send to you, Satan will send to you a man that sounds good, that has the posture of righteousness. Just like it's written, Satan will come to you on the right side of you, and he will speak wonderful words. And that's all it will be. Wonderful words. It will never be where you can go and actually do anything. I hope you listen. And if we are in this world in which you are, I'm the only person that's bringing in another world. A right one. I'm the only one that's doing it. So everybody else is in this world. So naturally, whatever you are doing, if you think that you have to change based on another man, what he's saying and doing, and you don't have no faith in it, you're going to hesitate. And when you hesitate, you lose. I don't know what the black man thinks he's got, that he got to hold on to. What do you got? The biggest thing that I hear the black man, young people talk about, well, the minister. You're trying to take what the minister's got. What has he got? What problems? What do you got, black man? The only thing you have is an opportunity to be with me. You don't have nothing else. And you don't have your woman, you definitely do not have her, because you ain't no man. The mankind has got your woman. They take you to court anytime they get ready. Ain't nothing you can do about it but go. But you call yourself a man, and you're so wise. You know everything. From Plato, Socrates, Marcus Garvey, you know everything. So this is what's facing. I'm one that's facing you. I'm one. You can't do nothing with the one. But what's facing me is the many. And what you're putting into my face is something that you can't never prove. Because you won't think. You don't want to think right, because it means you have to do right. And if you're going to do right, you think, well, I don't have enough power to protect you. That's because you ain't checked. If you would properly investigate, you would see this man is for real. I raised up Elijah. Didn't nobody kill him. Nobody killed him. And when Elijah was taken, he was powerful. The nation was booming. If you think Minister Farrakhan is greater, which he said, I am that and more. You don't hardly hear of him no more. Ain't nobody killed him physically. But his effectiveness is over. It's finished. By his own admission. Finished. I'm saying this because between Elijah and myself, this was the greatest man. He was greater than Wallace. Wallace only dealt with a section of people that was with the messenger and weeded them out. Well, here comes a man that made Malcolm look like child's play. He dealt with those that had not yet got here, young minds. Those teenagers and young men, made them believe that they are to arm themselves against white people. What the heck you going to do that for? White people is not your enemy. Not like that. If you master Satan in you, white folks can't do nothing to you. So your real fight is in the unseen. And Satan means this force is in you that's got something to say. White folks don't talk to you inside you. But there's something that always comes up in your mind and speaks to you, especially when the truth comes up. And then it also has a power to make things happen when you're trying to come to truth. I've had so many different revelations or people bearing witness things that took place with them after they had decided to be with me. If it's a sister, she wanted to come and be a part of this. She was married and her husband had been gone 4 or 5 years. Had 2 or 3 children. He never took care of them. Never seen it. Never heard from him. And as soon as she said, well, Father, I'm going to be with you. He calls her up. She don't know where he came from. All this love talk. He hit the number for $5,000. He wanted to give her 4.5 of it. He wants to Satan be putting this thing before you to stop you. Now we got somebody else here. I'm saying this because I really want you to think. These are all the oppositions that's against you. I can say it's against me in this sense. I must share with you the laws and principles so that you can think. I got to do that. So I cannot charge myself with being negligent in my duty to you. However, I'm saved if none of y'all come. If not one show up. I got to be saved if I'm the Savior. Is that right? And if I'm here to make all things, not some things, all things new. All. To the tune of no more death. Which one of you know how to do that? And if you don't think I know how to do it, if you got the knowledge, know how to question me when you get to the mic, ask. And I'll tell you exactly how it's done. And even after I tell you how it's done, you can't do it because you don't have the knowledge and the authority to do that. Now, ain't no minister going to tell you this, especially Minister Lewis. He thinks white folks is God. Scared to death of them. And I hope some of y'all don't like this. This way you'll remember it. You know, it's much like a black man here in North America, been here 400 some years, going under this affliction, and the promise was made by me or from me that I would come and bring you out with great substance. Now I look at you. I'm here to bring you out. And you tell me, no, I don't want to come out. And I'm telling you, you don't have no choice. This place going to burn. Now either you come out or you're going to burn. And you say, well, I don't believe that. I'm not speaking belief. I'm speaking what is. So now at the last moment, after you see I'm telling you the truth, when you could have seen it if you look, then you come and say, oh, I believe now. I don't hear you. I shall not answer you. Go let the minister answer you. Call on him. Call on Wallace. Let them answer you. Like the book reads. All them gods you call on, go call on them and see what happens at that hour. I got a right to say what I'm saying because I'm looking at you or I'm looking at the likes of you. There's plenty of black people here in Los Angeles. Extremely wicked place. You know, the first time I came out here, the very first time I came out, how many of you here know exactly what Los Angeles means and where it came from? You see? A few, very few. When I came out here, I gave you the definition of Los Angeles and where it came from, the whole state of California, where it came from. It wasn't always here. We're getting ready to take it back. Now, if you don't know God, where are you going? It's written in the Bible about this part here, North America, being split in 3 parts. It's going to be an earthquake a mile deep and 20 miles wide. Where are you going? You going to ask the minister to save you? I'm saying this because it's gotten to the point now, ignorance is very distasteful on his part. If you can prove what I'm saying is wrong and doing is wrong, then show me. And if I don't change, then leave me alone. Let me go off into the abyss of ignorance or hell. You keep on the straight path. However, since I'm the one that is actually to save you, just from your thinking, I have to share with you what is. The sister that was up here just before me gave a detailed scale as to what took place and what is to take place. Did she not? Well, I'm going back again to this thing, thinking. It'd be real wonderful for me and everyone else that actually take this habit up of thinking right. We can actually get the heaven built. If the kingdom of heaven is within the children, and you shall do greater things than what Jesus did, it didn't say I did it. It said the kingdom of heaven is within you. I'm just to bring it out of you. I'm not going to, you don't read where Solomon took no hammer and you heard no hammer building anything. What I built is your thinking. And once I build that, nobody can take it from you. You can't be robbed. Because I'm giving it to you from the essence of everything. There is nothing that's left out. How many of you are hearing the minister that is from here? Dr. Price. No more than that? Fred Price. He reaches quite a few people, even outside of this country. You know, it makes no difference how good a man sounds. If he came after Elijah and after Minister Louis Farrakhan, there's no such thing as that God ordained him to do nothing. I'm going to say that again. Behold, just before that great and dreadful day, I will send you Elijah. And Elijah asked the Lord, would you give me a helper? The Lord didn't say, I will send you a helper, I will give you one. Elijah asked for it because he was catching hell from you. So Allah says, I will give you a helper. I will give you your brother Aaron. However, he is your prophet. He's not mine. Meaning that he will help you, not me. So when we take you and there's a void between Elijah and Allah himself, there will be a voice that will remind the ones that heard Elijah. However, his post or his duty is to such degree that it is not worth mentioning between Elijah and me because he is a part of Elijah and his mission. Not that he stands out so pronounced that now you can just say he is as great as the messenger. He's not. He's the helper of. And he is coming at a time to remind you of what Elijah taught and what the message is. And then when I step before you, it will be fresh in your mind. Who God is, who the devil is. Now I can teach you how to be God. However, it appears as though love stands in the way. Ignorance combined with love is a disaster. I love you. However, you love the idea of me, but not me. You love the minister because he speaks of the idea. That's all. So you don't have to answer to him because he admits he's finite. He makes mistakes. He makes errors. He's not always right. So you say, well, I can relate to that. I know all of you are finite. My duty is to come to make you not that, where you will live forever. So if I have to do it, why would you keep giving your love to something that is less than what you deserve? You paid for me to be here. I'm not talking about in Los Angeles. I'm talking about 400 years of somebody else's foot on your neck. And if you think it's over, just look what happened in Texas. This, what is taking place here, we are dealing with nature itself. We're not dealing with people per se. And it's not that we have to be angry with white people. That would be foolish. However, their nature is a nature that's opposite of ours. And if it's their nature, they can't change. So why are you going to run after them, beat them over the head to try to make them change? You waste your time. Let the one that is in you show up to be greater than the one that's in the world. Who made the world? The Caucasian. Who is in you? In you. I am. Will you ever recognize it? No, if you don't think right. Your thoughts are not mine, and mine are not yours. And I hope you listen. I'm not saying this because I can raise my voice or maybe speak with some type of authority. What I'm saying is true. If I am that, what am I supposed to do? Pretend I'm not? Should I come before you and speak as a good preacher? Or pretend to be a good reverend? Then I would be a liar. Would that be right? Well, the only thing that's going to make you be yourself is the proper thinking. And what makes proper thinking proper, you got to have it when it starts from one. Before one becomes to be one, you got to know what made one one. And go right on up to that until you get to 9. Then there's nothing nobody can tell you to trick you. They cannot trick you. When somebody starts off with 2 or start off with 5, you didn't start from the root. So they can trick you. If you start off from the essence of everything, you cannot be tricked. That's what I do. Not only do I do that, then I have a place for you to go and actually participate in where nobody else can bother you. Well, since Mother spoke the way she did, if you all get the tape, and I hope you all have her on the tape, you go over this tape. If you have any questions for me, ask. I'm going to open up the floor now so you can ask me whatever you'd like to know. I would like for you to remember, they got a mic over here. Just come to the mic. And whatever question you have of me, just let it be respectful. It doesn't make any difference what you believe I am or what you believe I'm not. If you can't prove it, conduct yourself as though I have told you the truth. And then you might see that I did tell you the truth. Who's making that assessment? You? How long have we had churches here? Ever since we can remember. And we still catching hell. Is that right? All right, well, if the brother has a question, let him come on up. We can get into the questions. Seek out before you leave here today. Go to the table in the rear. Talk to the brothers and sisters that's already with us or with me. See what we're producing. We are magnifying what we're doing. And we would like very much to have your participation. Or they're not. What's happening? Oh, all right. He was already over there, but just let the brother come on, whichever mic he wants to come to. Let him ask his question. That's the important thing. I hope you all, I'm going to say this because it needs to be said. I haven't said too much. Usually I talk about Dr. Price sometimes when I'm speaking with people because he seems to be in his mind really, in this world's language, sincere about what he's doing. Regardless to how sincere you are, if you start off with 2, you're starting off wrong. And if you start off wrong, there's no way in the world you can end up right. As long as we're going to deal with this situation of thinking that white people can change and they shouldn't be racist, you will never be successful. This man, we made him, not Dr. Price. We made this man to be 180 degrees opposite from you, black man. And look at the time when this is being done. Right when I'm here. And it's put together so well that if one has no knowledge, you would say, that's got to be true. It is true if you don't see the origin of it, the way he brings it out. However, all that is said, it still keeps us in the service of the Caucasian. All of the money that comes in to help to keep him on the air. How does that help you? Large Crenshaw Dome faith building, the money that it takes to run that. How does that help you? What kind of thing is going on in your mind that's going to make it different from anything else? If you think this is going to help you, where God is going to love you because you are a sane person now and you're not argumentative and you're more humble and submissive, it means that you're just a better lamb for the wolf. That's all. Why not you be with me and be the lion? Then this way even the wolf got to back up. Yes, sir, brother. Walaikum salam.
First of all, what does the 7-pointed star mean? I've never seen this before.
That's the level of knowledge that we're operating on at this time. The points of stars. Star represents justice. That's why you see the armed or the police force and everything. These people that's in the point of authority, whatnot, they wear these different stars. And whatever point that they have, he knows what level of knowledge that they operate in. So we're operating in a knowledge that is higher than anyone else that's operating. You know, we're just starting this. This is at the beginning. So we're starting off higher than what it already is. So that's what it means.
Secondly, sir, I picked up a Muhammad Speaks under John Muhammad a couple of months ago, several months ago maybe. And on the cover of that, there was a picture of John Muhammad, the Supreme Minister John Muhammad. He was raising a man's hand. And to my knowledge, this man whose hand John Muhammad was raising was supposed to have been the messenger returned. What is your say on the subject of this of John Muhammad stating that this man is an imposter?
You all want to hear this? I think Mother just read out of Scripture itself about the God coming and even his messenger coming back. This is both of them on the scene at the same time. Now, I hope you listen and think. There has been nobody saying that they are Allah and the messenger is with them. Nobody. You've had people say, well, they know where they are. But nobody said that they are them. Because they couldn't have been telling the truth. John Muhammad, Elijah Muhammad's blood brother, named himself, or he was inspired to name himself the Supreme Minister. Now, if you notice, he was inspired. I'm saying he was inspired. You can call him and ask him if he'll tell the truth. The messenger didn't give him that name, nor did Allah in the person of Master Farad Muhammad. Now, since I'm God, I already know what's going to happen before it happens. So now, to make sure that this is real, when I bring the messenger back and present him to the ones that were with him, not to the youth, not to the children of the 144,000, but to the ones that was with the messenger. We got to have somebody that is actually with the messenger, or that was with him, blood, everything else, that will be able to absolutely identify this man. Now, we made it known that we would bring the messenger back. We put it all over the country. We didn't try to hide it. We paid high sums of money to rent a building to present this man in this fashion. The only one that we knew that really came because we had him to come was his brother, John Muhammad. It was almost a scuffle in the beginning. We almost had to put him out. Is that right, Brother Supreme? I don't know if he's in here or not. We almost had to put him out, his entourage. Because in his mind, he's the supreme. So we should treat him in a certain supreme way. But when you come in here, I don't care who you are. You're just a black man. You come in to face God, whether you know it or not. So he had to come under that also. When he sat there and listened and saw this man that was presented as the messenger, at the end of what we did for that day, of that presentation, he from the audience raised his hand and wanted to come and meet his brother. So we let him come backstage in the dressing room. When he walked in, I was sitting down. The messenger was standing up in front of me, almost in the doorway. When he stepped in, they looked at each other and made the connection. They hugged each other, quoted some love things and whatnot. Then I said he wanted to have pictures taken. I said, if you're going to have the pictures taken, not in this place, back here in this dirty looking dressing room. Go where we have the flowers and the flag and the people. He came out with him. And if you can think, black man, even on his publication, what did you see that bore witness to what he said? The picture that you saw, like you say, a picture speaks 1,000 words. It did not go with what he said. You saw nothing but purity. You didn't see nothing. You didn't see no filth there, period. Everything was pure. At the time, he recognized and said that was his brother. However, here's where Satan comes in. Before I get to that part, Supreme Minister, since we didn't name him that, and he was inspired. I told him why he was named that. Because Minister Lewis refused to accept Allah as he is and the messenger in his return. This put Minister John in the last step over Minister Lewis. It made him supreme, the supreme minister, because he was the only minister of all the ministers that bore witness that this man is his brother. And when I explained to him why he was inspired to name himself that, it brought peace to his soul. However, Satan always comes and speaks to you afterwards. And when he spoke to him, and the ones that were with him, they even bore when he was there. However, if he was to say, yes, that was my brother, this means he had no more job. What's he going to do? So that's what happened, brother. It was, and is not the messenger. However, the entity of Elijah is in that vessel, that person, just like it reads here in the Bible. When Jesus returned, he had 12 disciples before he left. When he came back, not one of them could tell it was Jesus. He didn't look like it. But when they questioned him, they said, oh, I see. So it is with this man. I brought him back with me. So he does exist. But I didn't bring him back for John Muhammad. I brought him back to see what his helper did to his people. So if he still wants him to go to heaven with him, he got a thorough knowledge as what Lewis did. And also his son Wallace. He knew what Wallace did before he left. So yes, sir, that is not the messenger as we knew the messenger. Now, he's the king of this planet. He's the king. In other words, when I leave from here, I'm leaving an impression on this earth that no man can break. And he's part of that impression. I'm giving him knowledge that nobody else will have except those that are personally from my very loins. That way no one outside can come in and change anything. They can't undo what I have done and will do. So that's why, yes, sir, it is. However, what have they done? Everybody that said that is not him. How did they prove it? What did they do to actually prove it wasn't him? Nothing. Just said it. For no more, about 400 people showed up. Half of them were the ones that's already with me. We paid almost $20,000. I'm going to do that on a lie. I'm not getting no money from you in the first place. So what would be my incentive for me to do this, already knowing that you're not participating? So for me to present him, and to bring about more controversy, I would be absolutely insane if I was doing it to try to win popularity or show I got power. No, it was prophesied, and I did it. And he now is here. So what I would suggest that everybody do we have pictures. You can order them from us, or he put the pictures on his paper. Look at it. Look at it. Don't tell me you see a fly, but you can't produce it in this milk. What you saw, and he held my hand so tight. If you notice, I'm holding his hand, my right hand in his right hand across me. I kept trying to get it out of his hand to hold it in this hand so everything would look right. He was holding me so tight I couldn't get my hand out without being insulting to him. That's how happy he was. But after that, since the duty of supreme was over, he slipped back into listening to Satan. And this is what Satan said to him. You didn't never sell very many papers. Put this out there and you'll get a large sale. Put it on the front. The imposter. Everybody's going to buy it. Yeah. And that's what he did. If that answers your question. He does exist. Yes, ma'am.
Yes, I have a question for you. Okay.
Do you all understand that? Get the tape so you can study it. I don't have to lie to you. That's one thing that I'm free of. I'm free of that. I sleep good every night. Based on if I'm going to have to answer to something I said is wrong. I don't never have to lose not one wink. Because I don't lie. I don't have to. Ain't nobody can scare me into lying. I don't fear you or nothing that exists. I don't fear it. So why I got to lie? Yes, ma'am.
My question is, are you a Muslim?
Not in the sense of what you're saying, no. A Muslim is a person that submits himself entirely to do the will of Allah. He submits himself to do Allah's will. I am Allah. So I can't submit to do my own will. I am that. And you will never read where Allah said he's a Muslim. However, you can be one, or the brother can be a Muslim. I am the author of what Muslims do. But as far as me being a Muslim myself, I will permit you to call me one. But I'm not a Muslim in the sense of what you're asking me. I'm the root of it.
Okay, well, are you a prophet or a messenger?
No, ma'am. No, ma'am.
Either
See,
or.
that's something else that we got to listen. I am the supreme being. I'm not a prophet. I'm not a messenger. I am what all the prophets and messengers have spoke about. They were supposed to lead you to me. I am the supreme being, the Lord of Lords, the King of Kings.
Okay, I have one of your tapes from Kansas City when you were on the radio talk show.
Yes, ma'am.
And I have a question. I wanted to know, where is the city for the white people that you have underground? And I know that you say that this planet is the black man's planet. So I'm sort of curious as to where's the city for the white people.
Well, this planet does belong to the white people, or black man, pardon me, belong to the black man. However, there is, if you have done any study concerning Solomon, white people, even the enemy, helped me. And whether he's the enemy or not, if he does right, I've got to reward that. So there's already, in our lesson, we already knew there's going to be approximately 3 million Caucasians to help me and us. So since this is true, I have to have a place for them where I can't take them into the hereafter with us because they would pollute it. So I have to prepare a place for them here. And the place, which will be their Garden of Eden, is the state of New Jersey. The jersey that you wore, that the football players put on, is called a jersey. I'm making a new Jersey. I'm bringing the city up for them. They will be there. And the fire that's coming down will not harm them because they're going to have the Jersey over the city. I hope you're listening. You asked me this. If it don't mean nothing to you, maybe you thought I couldn't answer it. Nobody else could unless you heard me tell it. What is New Jersey known for? The Garden State. Is that right? Who was put out of the garden? Adam, or the Caucasian. So it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end.
Okay, and my final question is, I understand in Kansas City that you have all these nice places, but I didn't hear you speak of a school or education, so where does that start and end?
Well, that's one of the first things we have. As a matter of fact, all of our businesses are schools. Where we have to go, you know, when you come, I don't care how old you are, you can be 200 years old. When you come to Kansas and you start putting your hands on what's going on, you are going to school. Because what is to be done there must be done right. It can't be done on your opinion or how long you've been doing it. Well, I've been doing this for 50 years. So, you've been doing it wrong for 50 years. If it wasn't, I wouldn't have to be here. So, as far as a classroom setting where you go and sit down, yes, ma'am, we have that. And matter of fact, the city is so intrigued with what we're doing. If I'm not mistaken, we got the national secretary here. They want to give us a school building for $1. And I think we're going to take it. But we have schools, we have classroom settings where they actually go and be taught. From the root of things, they're taught how to think. And then we have actual courses that they need to know certain science, some language, but mostly science and math. They need to know that. They need to know how to think. And they're not taught, well, Brother Solomon is Allah. That's irrelevant. That's irrelevant. Just learn how to think. That'll tell you who God is. Yes, ma'am, we do have schools. And our children, get your best college student. And I will get the youngest youngest student in our school. And he can't do nothing with it.
Okay, and if the employees that you have or your workers or volunteers aren't being paid with dollars or finances, how are they being clothed? Instead, I understood what you said about they just sign their names for the gas, but is that as well for the food in the diner, the cleaning of the clothing, the clothing that is needed, the personal clothing, and so on and so forth? How are they getting those things?
Well, what do they need? Clothes, food, cars, whatever they need, we provide it. The nation provides it.
So if I'm there, I can just walk in and say, I need clothing, and you will hand that to me, or I need shoes, or I need whatever I need, you can provide right there on the spot.
If you're with us, yes. If you are with us in the idea, not that you're going to just come and say, well, this is free, let me go. Ain't gonna work. But if you're with us in the idea, and the idea is for perfection, so you got to think where we can make things perfect. We start off with the things that's already wrong. We go into a building that's dilapidated, it's just messed up. So it's wrong, it's messed up. People's not even in it. Most of the time, the city is on the demolition list. So that's wrong. Now, we come in with the right thinking. We're going to bring this back to life for the purpose of showing the black man, this is what we can do. This is something the white folks don't even want. Let's take it and do something with it. Like the Indians was here, all this whole continent, 2,000 by 3,000, they didn't want it. There was more buffalo here than the Indians. And they was here 10,000 years before white folks got here. White folks came here, killed the Indian, or ran him off, killed the buffalo, put up skyscrapers. And now he's leaving from Florida, going out into space. So we're taking them rotten buildings and rotten people and bringing them up. However, you can't do it if you're rotten. So what you do, start the classes. When you start thinking, and you think you got the grip on it, come. And what you do will let you know if you got it. If you don't have it, and you admit you don't have it, we'll still let you stay because you're going to get it. However, if you come and you don't have it, and you say, well, I'm not going no place, I'm still going to do it because oh no. You got to go. Can't stay in heaven because you're bringing hell into heaven and we don't have partners. Yes, ma'am. If you're with us, whatever you need, you shall have. If you need a husband, you shall have him. You need a home, you shall have that. If you need clothes, you shall have that. And you're going to need it at one point. If you come with a whole lot of clothes, if you come with 2 or 3 cars, eventually they're going to break down. So it's going to come a time you're going to need it. We got it.
And so you can just come and visit? Is that a possibility?
Oh, absolutely. Yes, ma'am. You come and visit. It's not set up just for us, the Muslims. It is to be an attraction to the black man and black woman. So when you come, what you witness is peace. You witness civilization. You witness pride. You witness godhood. So when you come, we got 2 houses that we have made inns. It's called Heaven Inn. You come, you rent a room. If you want to rent a car, you do this. And you stay as long as you like. When you finish, you turn the car back in. You know, give us the key back to the house or your room. Then you're gone. This is, you know, even if white folks want to do it, we can't turn them away because that's what we got set up. However, it is there for you. But the black man, you know, we are paying for the dwellings, these dwellings, we're paying for it. But we get very few people to come and take advantage of it because they still think we are liars like everybody else. We want money. And to show that we don't want money, we want your mind, we want your soul. We operate without it as far as in the circle of us. People donate and give money, and we take the money and put it to work for us. If you come with us and you got $1 million, and you come in because you absolutely know that this is right, if you understand the million, you turn it over. You put it to work. And if you don't understand, well, then you're not going to give it. So you'll have the million, and we'll have heaven. You have problems, and we don't have no problems. You know, it's a wonderful thing to lay down and don't know what day it is. It's a wonderful thing, don't have to carry a wallet with you for the purpose of carrying money. There. Now, if you are to leave there and you have to go someplace else as representing us, we give you a card. Or we say, well, it's going to take thus and so money to do so and so and so. Here is the money. We give it to you. We trust you because you're already with the idea. It ain't about money. So we're going to give you something. We're scared you're going to run off. No, here it is. Go. When you get there, call us. Or on the way, let us know everything is going fine. If anything happens, let us know so we can take care of it.
Okay, so in order to come, is there information in the back I can get and talk to someone about making reservations?
Oh, absolutely. You can call you got a pen, you can write that number down, the 1-800 number. 1-800-331-7668. At any time of the day. That's 24 hours. Because we consider the whole day. We don't consider night. Okay. Call the number. And if you get to the airport, or if you get someplace, if you get close enough, we'll come pick you up with the car that you rent. If you want to rent one, so if you're going to fly in, you don't have no car, we don't want you to rent it from white folks. Let us know you want a car when you get there. We have the brother at the airport waiting for you. When you step out and take your bag, put in the car, and this is your car. And you pay $10 a day for the car. You know, because it's not a 1998.
Thank you for your time.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Yes. First, I'd like to introduce myself. My name is Brother Omar. Assalamu alaikum.
Wa alaikum salam.
I would like to give praises to Almighty God Allah, who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad and his messenger, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. I thank Allah for enabling me to be here today. I have 7 questions, each one pertaining to just about every point on that star. And my first question to you is, what is the difference between Allah in the person and Allah in person?
Before I answer that, he got 7 questions. If you want to, you can sit right there, so you won't have to be standing. And the brother that's standing at the mic, he won't let nobody get ahead of you. That way you can rest you can rest yourself. Then you can get back at the mic. Now you were saying, what is the difference between what?
What is the difference between Allah in the person and Allah in person?
Well, the difference is, if you're saying Allah in the person, that means this is the entity of Allah in somebody else's person. If you say Allah the person, this means that the person you're looking at is Allah's. He's in his own person.
Okay. My question number 2 is a continuation of 1. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad say in his exact words on page 145 in Fall of America that Master Prophet Muhammad, who is Allah in person, wanted to make it clear that he has chosen the American so-called Negro to be his people. So, in fact, does that mean that Master Prophet Muhammad is Allah?
No, sir. If you read the Messenger's literature, I think you may find it maybe twice where he refers to Master Prophet Muhammad as being Allah. All other times, it's a zillion times he's got it in there. Allah who came in the person of Master Prophet Muhammad. So because you have to go with the way that he actually got it. The way that it is in the rhythm of. That one or two times may have been from him, a slip of the tongue. It may have been put there so you can ask the question to get the clarity of what really is. However, that is not accurate as it is portrayed or what is written there concerning Master Prophet Muhammad being Allah. That's not true.
Okay. From what I've read, according to the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, every black person is born Allah, and the one we identify as supreme being is one with the supreme knowledge.
Yes, sir.
And I heard you state in your tape in Detroit on Master Prophet Muhammad, you said that Master Prophet Muhammad is not Allah, never was, and never will be.
That's right.
Allah is not something that has to enter your body. You are born.
Hold it. Ask questions.
Oh, yeah, no. Well, okay. Well, this is my question to my answer. This is from what I read, that it is not something that has to enter your body. You are born that by nature. Said for Allah means all in all. He is all of us. So my question is, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad says in his interview with Buzz Anderson that it was not necessary for God to come back here to us in person because he was going to send his angels, and his angels were going to take care of the gathering of the people. So why is it then necessary for you to be here if his angels are supposed to take care of the gathering of the people?
Well, I don't know where you read this at or what came on, what book you got this from.
It's in the videotape of Buzz Anderson.
All right, well, all of the literature states that God, at the end, God himself would come. Now, before God actually came or showed up, there were 10,000 angels that actually go and help him or to usher him in. These people that you were speaking about is doing just that. We need more than somebody to gather God's people. After they're gathered, then what? They're still stupid. They're still ignorant. They're still in the lack of knowledge. God himself has to show up to teach them about himself. That's why it was just read. Yeah, I don't know if you were here or not. This was just read from the Bible, which the Bible does have truth in it. Why am I here? I'm here to bring you out with great substance and punish the person, or really take them out of existence, the one that punished you. I'm here to put an end to the last enemy of Allah, which is death. That's why I'm here. To make no more death, no more sorrow, no more pain, no more crying. That's why I'm here. And I'm doing just that. No angel, no messenger, or no prophet can do that. Only God himself. That's why I'm here.
This is my question number 4. You stated that black ants are building a mothership in Wisconsin. Is this symbolic, or do you literally mean they are building this with their what they are equipped with?
Yes, sir. I meant this literally. There isn't a better worker that we have made than the ant. He's a faithful worker. Him and the bee. So yes, they're building another plane for me. This plane has to leave this universe, which all other planes have never done. They've gone to the edge, but they were not permitted to go outside of it. So they're building a special plane from special instructions from the special God.
Okay.
Now, you all ask me these questions, and you may roll off like, well, I'm just asking to see what he's going to say. Did I stutter? You better pay attention to what you're seeing and what you're hearing. If I'm not God, ain't no way in the hell I could answer that. I'm speaking your language now. Hell is not a bad word since you're in it. Yes, sir.
Okay, this is a continuation of 4, and it's from what I read. I'm not teaching it. I'm just reading on the facts that I've learned from the messenger. My understanding is ants are insects, and that's what nature made them to be. God does not change his laws, and nature did not make ants to do what you are saying. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad told us to study the ant because they are industrious and very hard at work, and their purpose is to replenish, support the queen ant, and unite against invaders. This is what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught us of the ants. So how can Allah change his own laws since he gave the ants a certain purpose, and that is to be an insect?
Are you listening? The questioner, are you listening? He makes all things new. I really don't have to say nothing else. However, I will. You have no knowledge that's been imparted to you beyond 6,000 years. And we made it where the Caucasian could not communicate with the beast or insects or none of my creatures. He can't even communicate with you. That's why he had to kill you mentally to make you like him, void of knowledge. But I'm God, not the messenger. And I'm making all things new. And it's written here that Solomon knew the language of the ants. One ant told the other, watch it, because you're going to get crushed by the foot of Solomon. And Solomon heard him. I want you to, these questions that you're asking is good if they're for right. You're not talking with no poop, but brother here. The ant, since the plane is being made in the earth, not on top of it, since they obey me diligently, they have no second thought. So I don't have to worry about you as the black man being wise, and then you want to put a little bit of your own thing into it. No. So when I commissioned the ant to do it, they were more than happy. And they only do what they do now because the God has not been talking with them and they have not been talking with God. So in the absence of God, since he's been away from you, in your absence, you followed Satan and the devil. Now I'm here. You got to come back home, black man. And while I was gone, I did not converse with the ants and none of my creatures because they would have came against this Caucasian and stopped him. So now I'm back on the scene so I can talk with them again. And they're more than happy to obey me. The same is with the bee. The bee make honey because we don't talk to them. We don't give them what they come and ask us, do we have anything for them to do? They be in your face, and you get scared and flapping all at them or whatnot. They're asking you for instructions. But you don't know any. And since they can't never get no instructions, while they're waiting on me, they all go off and do something. But what they do, they make things sweet. They make honey. So, brother, those of you that are here and those that will hear this tape, I'm making all things new. There was a time I only just wore a suit or pants, no belt. I got a belt on now. I'm thinking to take that boy off and whip some booty. And the reason why is because it looks like you need this. I've been answering questions. If the brothers heard the tapes, and he heard nobody else say this, but he tries to find out something to refute that. What's wrong here? Are you looking for God or are you still looking for somebody pretending to know God? When God said in himself, at the end of time, I will come. I'm going to make all things new. I'm going to be your God. I'm going to walk with you. I'm going to talk with you. I'm going to sit with you. Spirits don't do that. I'm going to be your God and you're going to be my people. So I'm here. You might not like the way I look, but I'm here. You can't do nothing about it other than to be with this. And if you're with me, there is no more beautiful person that ever will exist than me. What will determine the pleasure that you see in your eye that I'm exuding would be your acceptance of me. As long as you reject me, and if I do change, when I do change and I'm still rejected, I'm going to hide myself from you. You don't deserve to see pure beauty. You don't deserve to see it. Now, if you're going to be what you're supposed to be, according to the word, according to the math of it, and according to what you see me doing, when I call on the wind, it blows. It don't hold back. I call on you, black man, you stand back and look around as though, is he talking to me? I'm telling you, if you haven't found a God, you better accept me. Because I'm not going to keep looking this way to appease you, to make you comfortable in listening. If I appeared like this light is in my face, all lit up and everything, then you'd be, oh yeah, he must be God, but you still be stupid. You still wouldn't know nothing. I come to you in a way where you can actually feel comfortable in my presence so that you can hear. And you say, well, that can't be God. Look at him. Did I lie to you? I look as though I was slain from the foundation of the earth. Don't I look slain? All right then, I didn't lie. Am I speaking a knowledge that nobody else is speaking? So I'm not lying. Am I always talking about bringing in something new? Well, I'm not lying. And am I in the process of doing it? Well, I'm not lying. And am I teaching you clearly about the ones that is deceiving you, Warren Dean and Lewis? Well, talk back to me if I'm wrong. Next question, brother. If it's not the seventh.
I will go to my next question, but I wanted to ask you if it was okay to respond to what you just said of the ants.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir.
Okay, what I wanted to say was, to clear that up, was that I was saying that Allah does not change his laws, and you said he makes all things new, but the insects, or it was prophesied in the Bible, in Exodus, that God sent locusts, and locusts was eating up the farmland, and that he did this to bring about a drought. And you said that God has never talked to his creatures to instruct these type of things, and these things have come to pass. And lotus does exactly what they do, which is eat the vegetation if you have lotus in that particular zone. So he did not instruct lotus to do anything other than outside of their character, which was what they did. The ants building a mothership will be outside the character of the ant.
So what are you saying that to say what?
I was saying that to say that it wouldn't be making something new there. That would be changing the law of what the ants actually are.
Okay, brother.
Okay. So
go to the mathematical thinking classes. You need it.
Okay. My question number 5 is it true that you said that the God who created the sun is here today in another body known as James 103X?
No, sir. It's not 103X. However, the body of him is here. The entity has not taken the body as of yet. It's not time. However, we prepare well in advance. The body is here waiting.
Okay. How can this be when the messenger stated that no God is alive that was here in the beginning, but that they had sons and their wisdom lives in them? And why would he have an X if he indeed created the sun? To my knowledge, you are only able to get an X through the Lamb's Book of Life, and that's if you were an ex-slave.
The brother was here during the time of the messenger. So he got his X. He accepted what the messenger taught. The entity has not yet entered the body. I hope you all are listening. You know, I'm not bringing back the messenger to be the king of this planet and leave right the God that's the God of this universe. The messenger is only king of this planet. And I said, I am Allah, the all-knower, not the best knower. I'm not the Allah of the Quran, the best knower. I'm the all-knower. I know how to alter things. I know how to change it. I'm making all things new. So don't tell me if I'm going to change the nature of something that I can't be, because I don't never do that. What I do is I please. That's what I do. Now, if you have a problem with that, then that's your problem. You should be saying, well, praises are due to Allah. Because we need something highly out of the ordinary today to get out of the fix that we're in. And for a man to be able to stand up and say this with conviction, I'm not speaking as though I'm guessing this. I know that I know that I know. I know why. You don't have to tell me, you don't have to say, well, yeah, I believe. I don't care if you believe or not. It would be best that you know, because I'm giving you and sharing with you the formulas to know. I already know. I'm the one that's doing this for you. If you don't want it, I'm working for the original Allah of this universe. That's why I said when the ants make the ship, I didn't say this ship is going to leave this solar system. I said it has to leave the universe. And no ship has ever done that. They have not been permitted to do that. So the only one that can actually have that done has got to be the new Allah. And the original Allah cannot make all things new, because if he could, he would have done it. This has to be a new God, which the messenger talked about in Our Savior Has Arrived, page 124. This is not the Allah from the beginning. This is a new God. Not even the education of the old world will be accepted. This has to be a new idea brought in, and the idea must be so attractive that the ones that got the old idea give it up and adopt the new idea. Not that I'm going to make you I'm supposed to conduct myself in such a way I'm attractive. So this idea that I'm talking to you about, brother, do you understand what it would take to get an ant to build something? White folks can't do it. The Japanese can't do it. The Chinese can bring you back from death. They can't do it. Just for the mere fact of me saying that. And I've said many other things and doing them. I've got to be something other than what you've been used to. Got to. You know, I've been teaching. I've been waiting for you to get it. You act as though I'm missing something. You need to tell me something I forgot. Like I said, I got my belt on now. You know, it's real close to me. I can take that boy off real quick. I don't have to go home and search for it or find it. Meaning that most of the time, I didn't talk back to brothers this way. I just spoke to them, and, you know, if I spoke with any type of authority, I spoke in general. Time's up for that. Because I really am the supreme. I am him. Now, if you know one that is, bring him. Or if he don't want to come, I will go where he is. And we will sit down, if we need, or we can go on up, stand up in atoms in space and chat. However you want to do it. I can handle it. All right, you say you had one more question before the sister.
This is actually question number 6, but
all right, go ahead.
Yeah. Okay. I heard you refer to yourself as the new book, and that this book was you and not an actual book. I have studied the Messenger's teachings and have found that the Messenger said that this book you have to read, and that the book will still be entitled the Holy Quran because the name Quran is sufficient for the hereafter. And the Messenger compared what I'm about to say with Scripture. He said that
First place, brother. First place. The Messenger. He didn't say that. He didn't say that. He said this book you have to give ear to.
I've heard him say that as well, but I've heard him say
no, it's written. It's written, brother, and it stands true. It stands with all of the spiritual literature as what God said he would do. At the end, let him that has an ear hear. The Messenger says, I will raise up a powerful son of truth. And this book that he's talking about, you will have to give ear to, not I. And it's not called no Holy Quran. This book, he says, you have to give ear to. It's in the theology of time.
Okay, well, the contents of the book, he said that God did not dare tell Moses the new law while he was still in Egypt. That he waited until Pharaoh was drowned and after the Israelites crossed the Red Sea. So how is it that you are teaching the contents of this new book when Scripture verifies that it came after the destruction of the devil completely?
Well, if you really look around, the devil is really all but destroyed. Ain't nothing working for him, nothing. Even the president, you know, it's a shame what he's doing. There's nothing righteous or godly there. There's nothing that you can point to and say, well, God is backing this. They finish. The only thing that's making them look like they're still there is people that's thinking like you. In other words, when I show up, you can't bear witness that what I'm saying is wrong, but you're trying to find out something that you studied to show that I'm missing something. I'm saying enough that if you look at what I'm saying, we'll answer already what you got to ask. But you're asking me as though I'm missing something. And I'm here to bring in the new. I'm here to make you new. Up until now, you've been dying. I'm going to change that. That's always been happening long as you can remember. For 72 trillion years, death has been prevalent. Now, it says in the book here that the last enemy that God has to battle with or have a victory over is death. That's me. I'm to end that. So, what can I say, brother?
This is my last and final question. I'm only asking these questions because I've never heard you answer them
adequately for you.
The questions that I have, anyway.
Yes, sir.
Other answers, I've heard you stated, but these questions are specifically my own. Okay. Question number 7 is somewhat long, but it still stays on course. The Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches us to beware of false prophets who rise up in the last day. He says they are only here to take away your salvation. And there have been many splinter groups.
Well, keeping you going. If you got something else after I answered it.
Okay.
Well, wait a minute, let me say this.
This was regarding.
Let me say this. How are you going to be aware of a false prophet if you don't have no knowledge? How you going to be aware? How you going to say the man is false or the sister is false if you don't have the absolute? Now, if you don't have the absolute and have not been taught how to think mathematically, how are you going to be aware? You see? So yes, the statement is made, be aware at the end of time, there'll be false prophets. Many people stand up doing great things, false prophets. So be aware. How you going to be aware? What you going to use to make yourself successful in your being awareness? Somebody's got to come. And if I'm teaching you mathematics, mathematics is a formula that don't lie. So for the fact it won't lie, how can I be false? If I'm going to be false, I got to teach you something with some gray area, some doubt in it, some clouds in it, some mystery in it. If I'm teaching you 1 + 1 is 2, that ain't no mystery. That's plain as the face on your face. So how can I be tricking you? It's impossible. Everybody else other than me, such as the minister Lewis, has turned himself to be a hypocrite, a false prophet. Because he always speaks in the gray area. Always pointing to something that's asinine, crazy. Never allowing the person to have a definite to work from. So it can't be me. So if you ask me that question, you're wasting your time.
Well, I wasn't really asking that question, but it was leading to this specific question. But yeah, I agree, that Farrakhan is not doing what he's supposed to do. But what I wanted to say was that the messenger said, since the splinter groups that have come since the messengers leave of us, he said that some will come in his name and some will come in the name of God. Now I know that Joseph is your messenger. Does he have any ties with these women who are with Farrakhan who say they are the messenger's wife? Because I know the messenger only had one wife, and that was Sister Clara Muhammad. May the peace and blessings of Allah be upon her. And those women who claimed to be the messenger's wives were Malcolm's sweethearts, and that he was engaged to Evelyn Williams, who is known today as Evelyn Muhammad, before he married Betty Shabazz. So do you condone this, the people, women who say that they have been with the messenger when the messenger stated that those were Malcolm's sweethearts?
The one that is with me, the king of this planet, has nothing to do with them. He's in a new body, he has new power, and he has a new knowledge. So he has a new woman. When he was here as Elijah, he was permitted to have 40 wives. He only took something like 5 or 6. The ones that you were saying that the messenger said was Malcolm's sweethearts may have been Malcolm's sweethearts. However, the ones that were with the messenger as his wife were his wives. The messenger took care of them and had children by them for a specific purpose, by my authority. Now, if you or anyone else thinks that Elijah did something wrong because he had more than one wife, I guess you sure enough would jump up and down on me. Solomon, he had 700 wives and 300 concubines. And he had more knowledge than anybody before him or after him. So I guess I'm just a bad person. Now, you can't judge Allah's man. You can't do that. Forget what Malcolm said. Forget what the minister said. And even if the messenger said some things he said as a protection to you. Some things you're not supposed to know. Not at the time. Not that it is a secret. It's just not time for you to know. It would be more damaging than it would be profitable. When it gets time, like the messenger says, many things I could tell you, but you couldn't bear them now. That was one of the things. However, the children that they have, they got a job to do. And I don't care what they doing. They could be laying out in the street sucking dope up their toenails. They got to do it. Believe me.
Are you saying that those that are indeed his wives or his children, those that are with Farrakhan, were those Elijah Muhammad? You were saying that those were his.
If you're talking about Sister Tynetta and a couple of them that was with Minister Farrakhan, yes, sir, they were his wives, and they were there for a specific reason, and the children that they bore is now for a specific reason. They don't even know it yet. Just like Minister John Muhammad never could understand why he was inspired to name himself supreme. Brother, to admit it, I do things well in advance. Matter of fact, I got you ready 50,000 years before we brought about white folks. Oh, yes, sir. Thanks for the question. Yes, ma'am. I hope you take these and you study it, because the time is escaping you. I'm not talking to the brother. I'm just saying this period. The time is escaping you. Every time the clock ticks, you can't get it back. You can't get it back. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I hear you state that you are God. Am I correct?
I'm the supreme being.
Is the supreme being God?
Well, yes, ma'am. However, it would be better if he's called the supreme being or Allah, because there are many gods. Whatever you are the master of.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I mean the mighty God, the one and true living God. Are you God?
Yes, ma'am. I'm saying this, and I'm saying it in such a way where you're learning something. Mm-hmm. So when you hear it again, even in your own thought, when Satan speaks to you, you will know how to speak back with him. In your mind, you ask me about, are you God? I know what you mean.
What do I mean?
You mean, am I the supreme being? Am I the God of gods? Am I the highest that you can go as far as being God? Yeah. However, I must, because I know what's going to be said to you in your own thinking.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. It does matter.
But based on the information you provide me has a possibility of changing my thinking. And if you're God, you can do that.
Why not do it now?
Because God is the one. God has favor with everyone.
So that's why I'm telling you now. I'm explaining to you now. God is explaining to you now why it is better to say supreme being or Allah. Because when you just say God, it's too general. What if you are a master? Say if the brother Reverend Oliver there is a master of human.
Because
wait a minute, sister.
Okay.
If he's a master of it, if he's master, he's the God of that.
Okay, based upon my understanding.
Do you all understand what I'm saying? Yes, ma'am.
All particular gods are spelled small G-O-D. They're not capital G-O-D. I'm talking about the capital G-O-D God.
I'm capital God.
Okay. Now, since you say that you are a capital God, and you are the God, are you the God who laid down the foundation of this world?
Of this world?
That's right.
What do you mean? The way the things of
this earth, of this world. Are you the God who laid down the foundation?
No, ma'am.
Who is?
The original Allah.
So there is a God above you.
No, ma'am.
Did you give him instructions to lay it down?
No, ma'am.
Well, how is it that he laid it down and you are the supreme God?
Because he created himself in total triple darkness. And in his creation, something came along with it. It's called negative. Today we call it Satan. In my creation, I created my own self in total triple light, so to say. So there was no negative that came with me. I am of one nature. I have more knowledge than him. And matter of fact, when I saw him face to face, so to say, he agreed when I told him that his light compared to mine is like a candle. Meaning that I have much more knowledge than him. And this is why it takes me to bring in the new kingdom, the righteousness, this in-death thing. I'm doing this for him because I have more knowledge than him.
Okay. So based upon what you're telling me, if I understand this correctly, you're saying to me that this other God, who is not the supreme God, who is God of the devil, is the one who had laid down the foundation of this world.
He's not the God of the devil.
Well, how can he create negative things?
See? Let me say it again. The original Allah never created wrong.
Okay.
In his own self-creation, wrong or negative came with his creation. Not that he created it.
Okay.
Now, since it came with it, this is what's been the problem all along. He's been trying to figure out how in the world to get rid of this and save himself. It's so intertwined, everything that he uses to bear witness to his own thinking has this negative in it. So it always goes to spoil at one time or other. So now here I come along, I don't have it in my creation, so I love him so much. I said, listen, I know how to get rid of this for you and save you. He said, you do? I said, oh, yes. He said, you got to know because you came in my house and I didn't know how you got in here. Nobody can do that. So that fact alone let me know you got more knowledge than me.
Okay.
Now, how would you go about doing it? And I went about telling him how I would do it. Now, listen carefully. Mm-hmm. Listen carefully. The last 400 years, while you were here, under the feet of this Caucasian, and you cried for Allah to come and save you and help you, and stop this man from killing you, Allah never answered you. And the reason why he didn't answer you is because it would have interfered with the original Allah handing over the rest of his universe to me. Now that process has been completed. I'm here to answer your cry and bring you out with great substance and do away with this man forever.
So does that mean that before he was handed over to you, a sacrifice had to take place?
No, ma'am. There wasn't no sacrifice. In other words, the God did not, listen what I'm saying. It would never existed if the original Allah knew how to get rid of it. Since he didn't create it, he didn't make it, when he became aware, here's something that came in his creation, he didn't even know it was there. For after almost 6 trillion years before he knew it was there. Then he said, what is this? Then he got busy. I got to get rid of this. And every avenue that he went down, he found out, yeah, I can get rid of it, but if I do, I'm going to take myself out. Then I finally show up.
I see. Did you also create people? Did you create us?
No, ma'am. I'm going to make new people. I'm going to make you new, as the book reads. That is already here. If you're with me, I'm going to make you new.
And by you making us new, what is your purpose for making new people?
Because you're the best people to express godly ideas. And there's no need for you to leave if you want to be completely righteous. Where you got to go? You know, if it's righteous.
I have another question. Where does Jesus Christ fall into this?
Jesus Christ?
That's right.
That's a weak expression of myself from white folks. Oh. Jesus Christ, but you have a Jesus, and that's all.
No Christ?
But wait a minute, sister, wait a minute. I'm going to ask you because I already know what you're going to ask.
You do?
You have a Jesus that is supposed to have hung on the cross.
No, he did hang on the cross.
You see? Our people is bad, man, I'm telling you.
No, but that's true.
Were you back there?
You can't deny Jesus didn't hang
Were
on.
you back there?
Were you?
Yes, ma'am. And can prove it.
you ask?
Absolutely can. Absolutely can, but I'm not going to do it here today. Because it wouldn't mean not to you. I'm going to prove it, but to you, that can't be proven to you yet. Jesus, that's supposed to have died on the cross, was just Jesus. Upon his return, white folks call this Jesus Christ because Christ means to crush or to bring into oneness. When Jesus was here, he didn't make nothing law. He just made a message. Gave a message. He didn't put nobody in jail. He didn't put no curse on nobody. Otherwise, he didn't do things. He didn't make people do things.
So you don't believe in the covenant, do you?
But you got another question?
Yes. You don't believe in the covenant that was made.
No, I need your next question. Not do I believe in
You
it.
want to talk about Jesus anymore, right? Okay.
No, I don't mind talking about Jesus, but I don't want to talk to a fool.
No, I'm not.
You know, because you're not listening to what I'm saying. It's very impolite. It's very impolite if you're asking me questions and I'm answering it, and you're going to come back to me as though I'm crazy, I'm missing something.
I stand in the light of God.
Listen, you can excuse yourself. You got a next question?
Thank you.
I'll make one more.
Well, listen, salam. And the first thing before I go any further, you see? You see? Satan has got our women. She's going to tell me about Jesus Christ as though she's his mother and she's his father. And Jesus said, greater works do you'll do than I. And he ain't never said, I'm coming back. You see? Madness. That's what's facing me all the time. It'd be something different if it was just that one person. But I'm sharing knowledge with you. I'm talking about the black ant. Brother asked me, I just answered it. I'm trying to give you an understanding about this Jesus and Jesus Christ. Well, let's talk about Jesus Christ. Is he greater than Solomon? Is it written in here that they gave Jesus Christ more knowledge than anybody else and anybody before him or after him? So Solomon and Jesus Christ got to be the same person. It's just the devil. Two different devils is telling the same story. One say Jesus Christ, the other say Solomon. But no, y'all know so much. I hope you know how to put this fire that's coming. Yes, sir.
You know, brother, I know the sister over here has been waiting for quite some time. I'm going to let her go first.
All right, thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Assalamualaikum, brother.
Walaikum salam.
I have 3 questions, you know, pertaining to the same thing. I want to know, who was Master Farah Muhammad? What was his mission and where was he?
Master Farah Muhammad was a specially prepared man. In the book, it talks about that God would come in dyed garments. What makes him have dyed garments? Master Farad Muhammad's father was a brother by the name of Alfonso, and he was a very black man. And at the time when we decided to bring this scenario in play, we had to have all of our characters. Before time, we had to already know what was going to happen. So what we did, Brother Alfonso was the acting God at the time. He was not to come and find us because he was too black. However, he had the knowledge of us and knew what we were supposed to do and the time. So he had to prepare a person or a body that would actually be able to come and find us and would not offend either the one that was holding us or the one of us that was being held, meaning black or white. So he married a white woman to produce this light-skinned male child. And this light-skinned male child, they made this person a master of all things. And then after he became a master, Allah in my being, or the essence of me, entered into that body. And that body was allowed to come here in North America and find us and raise up Elijah. That was the purpose for Master Farad Muhammad. After he raised up Elijah, if you notice, you don't hear nothing else about it. Elijah stayed here and you never seen him come back and talk to Elijah. You never seen anything of that nature. After he raised him up, like he said, I will come to the heart of hell and spend 3 days and 3 nights. Master Farad Muhammad, Allah in his person, came to Detroit, Michigan. He stayed there and taught Elijah 3.5 years, 3 days and 3 nights. Then he said, Elijah, I got to go. You got it now. And you haven't seen him since. Nobody has seen the man since. He did what he was supposed to do. He came in dyed garments and raised the man up. And Elijah was raised up to make a way for me. Now I'm here. That's it? Yeah, I thought you said 3 questions.
Yeah, I want to know who was Master Farad Muhammad, what was his mission, and where is he now?
Oh, yes, sir.
Right.
Yes, sir. Did I answer? Yes, sir. All right. Yes, sir, brother.
Throughout the question period. Why is it that you say that Minister Louis Farrakhan has sold us out? That's number one.
Well, number one is because we allowed him to be a helper to the messenger. And the messenger was, and is a divine man. And the message that he gave us is divine. Because nobody else thought of it other than the God that gave it to him to deliver. And then because this man, doing much of the messenger's delivery of the message, was always in the background, you hearing his voice. Teach, the holy apostle. Go ahead, the holy apostle. And then we made him a helper to the holy apostle. Then when he has the opportunity to actually present God himself to you, he turned his back. He's gone the same route as the Sumerian, or Wallace did, the messenger's son. Back to the east, backwards 1,400 years ago, and try to make the Quran the criteria. Prophet Muhammad over Elijah Muhammad. So we are here in this country. No Warner had ever been here. No Warner had ever been here. No Warner. We raised up Elijah right here in this country, raised him up. And he gave us the message. And what he gave us superseded what was even in the Quran. The Quran never told you who Satan is or the devil. It never told you who you are. Elijah came and let us know and backed it up. So that fact alone let us know that the messenger for us was greater than the Quran. So why now would, if this man has us still in his mind, in his heart, our well-being, why would he leave the root and go stand off in space? Something that has proven never to help us. You can't practice Islam as the way the Quran talks about it. Not in this country. Because the country is not ran from the base of the Quran. It ain't even ran for the base of the Bible. Now where the Quran is, the people that go by the Quran, their government is set up based on the Quran. So it's right for them to study it and follow it. However, we, the black man here in North America, 400 years, ain't nobody else went under this, nobody else. Like I said, you earned this. You got a right to turn it down. However, you don't have the right nor power to stop the ones that do accept it. Allah is here in North America. There's 2,000 by 3,000 here. I'm not in Africa. I'm not in the Kaaba. I'm not in the holy city of Mecca. I'm not there. I'm here because the best of the planet is here. Now, he was there bearing witness all this time. What got into him to make him lose your interest? If he already had your ear, he only had to speak the truth. And then I'm going to make him be in motion to have something for you to go and feel comfortable and be protected in. You ain't protected in nothing. He got nothing. You don't have no knowledge. Most of them, when they come to speak to me, they're so far backwards, they're worse than a Jehovah's Witness. For real. They speak nothing but a bunch of jibber jab. And you're a black man say you God. If you God, you got to know something. And the something you got to know has got to be relevant to the time. I don't mean you got to know how to be an electrician or a math major. You got to know what God is doing right now and why. If you know everything else, you lost. You lost. So why would he deviate from what he was doing? Since he was supposed to help Elijah, not help Prophet Muhammad, not be a deputy for Muammar Gaddafi. You see? Now he's saying that the messenger, Elijah Muhammad, never said that he was the messenger of Allah. Well, you can go get one of any of the old Muhammad speech papers. It's written on there, I'm the messenger of Allah to you all. But he said the messenger never said it. He said the messenger said that he was the messenger of the messenger. They documented where he had a Pakistani interviewed him. That's what he said. So you tell me where did that leave you, black man? You ain't got no oil. You ain't got no country. The Pakistanis got Pakistan. The Arabs got Arabia. The Turks got Turkey. What do you got? You got nothing but me, but that's everything. Yes, sir. I hope that this isn't offensive. If it is, bear with it. Your best medicine or the best herb is very bitter in your mouth. You ever taken wormwood? I used to have an Allah's nectar. Most people tore their face up when they drank it. However, whatever is wrong with you, it healed it. So if this is offensive to your heart, most certainly digest it and be very beneficial to your soul. Yes, sir, brother.
With all due respect, I wanted to see. You said you had the interview. I'd like to see that. I don't know if somebody can provide that for me. But also, I'll go to my next one. You said, you spoke earlier that you're going to another universe. What exactly are you going to do there, if I may ask that?
I'm getting away from you. I'm going to, this is not my universe. This does not belong to me. You know, like the sister got up and left. Because I don't love Jesus, she thinks. This don't belong to me. I'm doing a duty for the original Allah. When I leave, I can only do so much here and leave it. And whatever else that will take place, it will be the owner of this universe that will do it. I'm just leaving on this planet an impression that he can break on this planet. However, I got to go to my own universe so I can express my own knowledge in my own place. So that's why.
Now, with all due respect, once again, in that universe that you're going to, is your own. Are there black people there also?
Let me put it this way. They will be whatever color of people that I want them to be. More than likely, this is what's going to happen, brother, and I hope you listen. I hope you really listen. Before this planet, before we decided to come on the outside of this planet and live, we weren't black either. Or put it this way, you all wasn't black.
What
Just keep listening. In my universe, I'm going to make it where you be whatever color you want, because you're going to be light. You're going to be light. If you want to be blue, be blue. If you want to be black, be black. If you want to be red, be red. If you want to be a color that I has yet to create, you be that. It's not going to be beings in such where we have flesh like we know it now that have weight to the frame. We're going to be pure energy where you never have to eat. But that's something, like getting off into another universe in mind. So it's not where it's going to be black people. Like I said before, from Pluto to Earth, we were not black. And we occupied every planet. Are you listening? Every planet has been occupied by the original man, or when I say original man, the God. When God created himself, he couldn't destroy himself unless he destroyed everything else. So he never did that, and nothing else could come in and destroy him. So he has over and over expressed his wisdom in these different planets. He planned it. And you're riding on 6 sextillion tons of one of his plans. You see? So now, before we decided to come outside of this and live, we were not black. Since the sun, if you can have from Pluto to the Earth and all those planets in between, that's a long, 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 long time without light. So if we just brought light here, since we was coming on the outside of this planet, why do we need to be black? Well, since we decided to come on the outside and not on the inside, we took on the color of what was on the outside. Black. Next question. If that answers your question.
Okay. When specifically will you destroy California and then the nation?
And then the nation, are you talking about the United States? Well, I won't give no specific dates on that. Because more than you was asking. There should be a time that you don't know. So that if you're going to be with me, you do it because you want to, not because you found out what the date is. You go right up to that date and then, I'm with you. Oh, no. That's why it says no man knows the hour except me. What you do need to know, it is going to happen. I am here now before it has happened, offering to you a way out. If you accept it, you most certainly will come out. If you don't, what can I say? You better learn how to swim and swim for a long time. This might sound sarcastic, but it's true. What more can I do? What more can I do? If I bring the belt ring like your book says it looks like I'm going to have to do, it's because you're making me do this. I really am loved. I would much rather the sister and everybody else ask me a question. You ask me the question because you really want to know. And if you really want to know, don't add Satan into it. You're going to ask me a question and you got to slip him in there to let me know. And I really don't believe you can answer it. Forget that. If you want to know what's going to be in the next universe, how you going to have that? Allah? And that spirit that you asked me, I got to come back with that same spirit and be glad to tell you, man, I'm going to take you with me. Matter of fact, the ship that's being made in Wisconsin, I'm not just making one. I'm making 6 of them. And I got them in certain order as to how I'm going to be going. And when we get to the edge of the universe, the other 5 got to stop and wait. And I got to go in first to stay a while and then come back and let them know, all right, you come in now. So it ain't nothing here you got that's going to hold me. I ain't looking for your money. I'm after your souls and your minds if you want to give it. So it ain't nothing you can show me in the Bible, nothing you can show me in the Quran. It ain't nothing that the minister can say. Ain't nothing nobody breathing can offer me that supersedes me. Because I'm not talking this, I am this. So, hey, if you want to know, I'm more than happy to let you know. That's why a sister could come stand before you pregnant. Mother is pregnant with a child, physical child. So I don't want y'all going to say she came up speaking, she's fat. She wasn't fat, she's pregnant. With one of the royal family. But you don't hear no woman speaking like that. That's out of something that you should understand. Because I taught her. I made her the mother of you. Before you get to me, you got to get through her. And that time is almost expired for her being the mother of children. There should be enough children, because she's been doing it long enough now, that there's enough children produced from her, mentally, spiritual children, that will talk to me now, and I can really give to you what I got freely and willingly and in my spirit. But you make me give it to you with the spirit of wrath. You know why you do that? Because you don't believe. Because you think I'm a liar like everybody else. Because you one. And I tell you over and over, I ain't no liar. I don't have to lie, because I ain't scared of you. I ain't scared of white folks. I ain't scared of nothing or no one. I'm not afraid. And it's already, even if I were, I'm already instructed by the Lord of the original law, fear not. I'm with you. And what about these 7 angels? What about the 20 and the 4 elders? What about them? They love me. It ain't that they don't know nothing about me. I'm just trying to make myself known to a bunch of dumb people. They back me up. You don't never see them, but they do see you. They do see you. And some things that I let go, they don't. I had a brother leave me, talking all crazy, and went down and started talking to some other people about me, really scandalizing me. And I heard about it, I kind of smiled. I said, well, the brother just don't know. The scientist said, we ain't going to leave him alone. They put him in an accident, and he bit his own tongue off. Hey, that's light stuff. But he won't talk. If he talks about me again, he has to write it. Now, mind you, I didn't say I did it. I heard about it and heard the tape of him saying it. I laughed just the same way I did with Khalid, bald-head Khalid. They come in here and got shot. I told him before he got shot, he better pay attention to me. No, he laughed. Called my family a bunch of bees and all this kind of stuff. Got him down in Houston, Texas. Picked him up from his entourage and his security. We got him so smooth, even he don't know how it happened. Brought him to the house, sitting down, propped his leg up, and I told him, I said, I heard all that stuff you talked about my family. It was comical. Now he's face to face with me. Now he got egg all over his face. Because I ain't scared of him. I'm right to his face telling him what he did. And then I told him what kind of warrior he is. And then they've given him a big group to do that night. I told him, that's your farewell. After this, if you don't come with me, you're never going to witness your power, and that's going to be the end of you. You're going to fade away. Now he's after it so bad, he's down there in that town. I saw him on TV, dressed all up in his paramilitary, his rifle, and whatever it is. Now you think he's going to answer the question, who's able to make war with the beast? He's going to jump up and say, I will. What factory is he making bullets? What hospital has he got to take care of his wounded? You see how stupid that is? But he's for black people. And he's going to have a million youth march so that the youth can get back on track. They can get jobs, or they can feel well for themselves. If we had a million man march, you still ain't feeling good about yourself. So what that's going to do for the youth? Youth means you got a lot of energy. You can't talk the energy away. You got to be doing something. So if you haven't provided a nation for them to participate in, their energy is going to go against them. Just like I'm sitting in the office back there looking out the window, waiting to come on here. I see the brothers ride by in the car, 2 or 3 of them. Hats turned backwards. Some got it on the side. Thought comes to my mind, we're just advertising being niggers. And who you being a nigger for? The other nigger? He can't help you. And you being it for white folks, he ain't gonna hire you. Or you being a nigger to please the wise man? The wise man don't please. You can't please no wise man. And the wise man can't please the nigger. You better think. You better think. I got a whole library of tapes. So since it's not necessary for you to see me, call the 800 number. Order any tape and listen to it. Because you're supposed to hear, not necessarily see. And I'm going to get on you sisters too. All you sisters that love Jesus so much, I'm sick of it. We made you and made Jesus. And you keep taking this man off someplace in spookism, thinking that Jesus is going to save you. You keep putting Jesus ahead of your man. One day he can wake up, and if you do wake up and be with me, we're going to champion over all the rest of them. And you're going to look at us and want us to take you, then no, you're going to be too broke down with Jesus. You should go live with Jesus. He's dead. I'm not trying to be smart. I'm telling you, I am God. I'm the God. I'm God with the capital G. I'm the supreme being. I'm Allah. I am that. And as much as you come up against me and with the children, we got people that have left here and have gone to heaven to produce heaven, because within them is the kingdom of heaven. They have gone, the children, younger people, and their parents back here is constantly contacting them, offering them, you got a place to come, I want you to leave, do you need anything? Leave them alone. You should come with them. You know, when you don't do that when they go to service, you don't call them up, well look, if Mr. Bobo ain't treating you right, you can come back home. For the first 30 days, he don't let you talk to him. Put you through boot camp and put boot in you. When you come to heaven, we're making a new kingdom. Not a good one. Not one that we're trying to get going. We're in accord with the time, and I got the power to do it. If you got the will, I will give you the knowledge. And we're doing this. But instead of you coming and really checking it out, no. You're going to let Satan talk to you, whisper, like the Quran reads in 113th Surah. Whisper it in your ear with strong resolution to make you doubt. You better think. I am God because I am Him. I cannot say that enough until you get the point. Now, I was asked, what about the older people? It is already fossilized. You know, like an old oak tree. It's not going to bend. I was talking with a brother one day from my hometown. He said, Royall, what you saying, I know you from a young child. There's no way in the world you could have made this up. He said, but I've been a Christian for 47 years. I can't change. I said, Mr. Bernard, don't worry about it. If we allow you to live, your children and I will change it for you. We will place you in heaven because your heart is right. You just don't have the knowledge. And we will take from you the sting of the devil and cause you to be proud because of what your children is bringing in. And there is no act of negative that's more attractive or more powerful than positive. So if you live long enough and you see this, don't worry about what you got to do. Just keep breathing. We'll take care of that for you. You see? That's when the children are honoring their parents. As long as you don't come up against us and try to make us not do it, we're going to make this heaven for you. Well, if that's it. Was that it? What time is it? What time am I supposed to get off from here? I'm supposed to leave at 7:58? How much time do we have? We got the building until 7:58. And it's 7 o'clock now. Yes, sir.
You spoke earlier about you would be the one to end death. Did you mean that as in death for us physically?
Yes, sir.
Not mentally or spiritually?
No, sir, physically.
We would live
forever.
And you spoke of when the sister was asking you about, I don't know, the sister was being disrespectful. When she was asking you, about Jesus and whatnot, you asked her, were you there? And she said no. Basically, you were saying that you were there. But,
yes, sir.
But yet and still, Mr. Bernard knew you when you were a child.
Yes, sir.
Can you elaborate on that?
Yes, sir. If I was in the body of Master Farad Muhammad, this body wasn't even born. This is a special prepared body for me. This is my own body. However, the entity has no age to it. This is why it reads in the Quran. You don't never speak of a apostle or a messenger or even one of God's servants as being dead. They pass. So yes, sir, as the entity of being myself when Jesus was crucified, I absolutely was there. In this particular flesh and blood body, no, sir, I wasn't. It wasn't time. If that answers the question.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir. Well, yes, ma'am.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum salam.
My name is Sister Nikki, and I wanted to ask the two most frequently asked questions, which is, what's the meaning of my name and what tribe am I from? If that's okay.
I'd almost rather that the secretary answer that, and we've been teaching him how to do it. However, you say your name is Nikki. If I answer yours, nobody else is coming up to do that, are they? Okay.
Can you tell me my entire name?
I can. You know, it will make you feel good.
Yes, sir.
Are you with me?
I haven't received my X yet, but I am processing.
You're processing? Your name is Nikki what?
Nikki Willetta Gill.
All right, we'll go with Nikki. It means to be caught. To be caught. Now, the next name is what?
Willetta.
Willetta?
Yes, sir.
Permission to do as you will. Do as you will. Willetta means do as you will.
And the last name is Gill.
Gill?
Yes, sir.
Essence of life. Essence of life.
Yes, sir. And what tribe am I from?
I don't really see you. However, if I'm going to go by your name, you would be from the 13th tribe.
13th tribe.
The lights are stopping me from actually seeing what I need to see to tell what tribe you're from. However, if you stay with me, I'll see you.
Yes, sir. In the Old Testament, it states that which foods we're supposed to eat, which foods we're not supposed to eat. Like, of course, we're not supposed to eat swine, because it's so forth and so forth. However, in the New Testament, I'm not sure exactly what it says. However, it says that I think Jesus Christ or someone came along and blessed everything so we can eat it. So why in the Old Testament it says we're not supposed to eat it, but in the New Testament it said that it blessed everything?
Because the devil wrote the Bible. He knows when I'm supposed to show up. And his purpose is to confuse everybody. If the Bible was so accurate, it would be no confusion. Well, everybody's got the Bible. Everybody's reading it, especially all the Christians. And they're confused. So, I didn't write this Bible. We have what we did. We have some scrolls and scripts that we gave certain prophets. Prophet Muhammad was the last one that we gave some, it wasn't scrolls and scripts, we gave a revelation to him, and he spoke and people wrote it down. However, before then, we gave actual written scrolls, scripts, to the Jews. And they compiled what they call a Quran or a Torah. And from that, this Gentile compiled the Bible. So it's always somebody's interpretation. So they want to make, when God comes, let's mock him. Let's have all his people eating swine. So we'll put it in there where Jesus blessed it. That never happened. We made the swine to do a particular duty. We did not change him from that. He's a medicine to white folks, but he's death to us. So Jesus would never bless nothing of that kind. If it's in the Bible, white folks put it in there. God did not write the Bible. It'll tell you who wrote it up. It's an association. What they have compiled from other literature, other scripts, and put it in their interpretation and fed it to you. And then fed you the form of how they think. So you think the way they think, so it makes sense to you. However, when God or Allah himself shows up and tell you, this is a trick. It's the greatest trick that's ever been played. If you want to know what's really good to eat, it's the navy bean. The little small navy bean. We changed that around to make it palatable for the black man, for the poor righteous teachers. They're poor. So they needed to purchase a food or eat at least grow it. They can have that one food and they get all the nutrients from it. The man should not be eaters of flesh, period. We're not designed for that. And where's the brother at? I have another food in this world for you all. That's pure energy. You're only going to eat it once every 7 days. And you'll have no need for an anal system or a bowel tract because you have nothing to expel. It's going to be pure energy. So if it's pure, there's no waste. There's no residue. And I don't have to go make it. It's already here. However, I got to make the people that's going to eat it. Looks like nobody don't want it. And if I tell you about what I got for you, it sounds too preposterous. If I say, well, the Bible is wrote by an association. And this particular Bible is King James's version. You don't need a version. Today, it reads, even in this Bible, at the end, God himself would come. Not a version. And before God comes, Elijah must first come. Call him by name. It didn't say Jesus. Elijah must first come. You see? So it didn't say listen to Jesus. Elijah must first come. And there must be a falling away. What you going to fall away from? Wasn't nothing here but Christianity. What was you going to fall away from? When Elijah came in and brought Islam the way it is for us in this country, then there was another way that you could go. So you could fall away from this trick that's in this Bible. You see, somebody needs to give the understanding to an ear that wants to hear. If you don't want to hear it, and this is an offense, what can I say? You better know how to put that fire out, because it most certainly is coming. It's on the way. And if you don't think I'm doing this, you couple the knowledge of what I'm saying with what's happening in the country. It is, I've told the ones that are with me for some time, when it gets to be close to the ending of this century, it's going to be a wealth, so to say, or a rash of insanity and cancer. I've been said that. Check it out. Your loved ones are coming up with cancer. And people are just going insane. But the Bible is here. I'm talking about in this country. Where the Quran is over in the other country, they're not quite insane. They're a little batty, but they're not insane. Over here, no definites. Whatever I come up with, that's what I should do. If I want to tie a black man behind my pickup and drag him 3 miles down the road, let's do it. Now, the family comes in. I have no animosity towards the man that did it. I just hope God saves his soul. I ain't going to say this, oh. You see, you got a question today. If God is here, where is he? If the black man is being done this harm to him, whatnot, why don't God stop it? You know why? For the same reason that the sister did. When I started to show her how I think and why I think, she'd get up and leave. So she'd go down and get hit by a car and then, well, God, it was in God's hand. It wasn't. She took it out. You see? Anything else?
Yes, sir.
I hope you think, black man, you don't have much time. I'm telling you. You don't have much time. I don't know I just don't know what else to say to you. I'm doing. And all these thousands of brothers that was here under the ministry, they don't have nothing to fight for no more. They ain't got no nation to fight for. Where they at? They've been told that I am against them. I want to take what the ministers got. And we talk to them, a lot of them, I never heard of Solomon. Why you never heard of him? I just never heard of it. That sounds good. And the ones that did hear it, they say, who you with? I'm with Solomon. They immediately step back. As though the person that's saying has got the blue-blind plague. However, they never stop to think, suppose this man is God. We know the ministry. Suppose he is. Then what? Okay, I won't cut you off anymore.
Are natural disasters a payback towards humans because of all the damage we cause to the environment?
It's not so much a payback as it is letting everybody know that God is not with what's going on. Nature, since you won't see me in the flesh, I will show it in that serves me all the time. Nature is showing that God is not with this. You know, you got a big church and a hurricane come along and blow the roof off. Or you got churches and God allow the devil to go and burn them down. He's letting you know, I'm not with that. And it's in the Bible here about you got your part. And because you got your part, you think you're wise. You got wisdom until God comes. Then he tell you, all you that got parts, throw away your part so you can be wise. That's what it's saying. But everybody's still holding on to their part as though this is it. Oh, you got it? And God has said, your thoughts ain't mine. I'm not in the church. I'm not in the synagogue. I'm not in the mosque. I'm not there. And I'm not going there. You got to come where I am. If you don't, look around. White folks can't stop tornadoes. They can't even stop their own self from killing themselves trying to catch the mother plane or the ship behind the hill about coming. Madness. You see? But I'm saying I'm building a place for you. And I'm protecting that place. Like I did the holy city of Mecca. They didn't fly no planes over there and drop no bombs. They couldn't, for a while, they couldn't even fly over the area. We didn't even permit it. Now they're going out and fly over, going out and drop bombs, shoot each other and everything else. However, here in Kansas City, it's growing in such a way, ain't nothing going to happen to that. Except an expression of an idea that's perfect. If you're processing and you come with us and you end up there, you have made it. Now, whether you stay there, that's up to you. But you will have made it. Ain't nothing going to happen to the brother there. There was a brother there in Kansas, young brother. Walking across the street, a car came along and hit the brother, boom, knocked him way up in there, then knocked him down the street. Then the car ran over him. Everybody was, oh, they were so hurt to see this. Now, the meeting just stepped out of our building from our meeting. So the ones that was there seen this, oh, God, Allah let this happen. Oh, this is a little young boy. What is it, 12, 13 years old? 9 years old. They carried him to the hospital, whatnot, to check him over there. Can't find nothing wrong. Then the brother hit him and ran. We told it to the police couldn't find the people. We went and found them. And then called the police and said, here they are. Then we told the police, look, let us have them for a while, not to beat them up. We got a proposition to make with them. Since we saw it was a young brother. And we know how white folks like to do y'all when you go to jail. So we told the brother, look, man, you hit one of our children. What you got to do is admit it. Come to the temple, stand before the body and admit it, and let us know. We got to see if you really are sorry or not. And if we can ascertain that you are, the only thing we ask you to do, if there is any hospital bills, you pay for it. The brother couldn't believe it. His grandmother didn't want us in the house. And when she found out, what? That's all they're asking? Oh, son, go. He turned his partner in. So both of them came down. And they did what was required. And then we told the police personnel or authorities, there's no more need for your services. We have handled it. We told them what they did. They couldn't believe it. They applauded us. The brothers have got enough trouble. We could have went on and prosecuted him. Brother been sitting in jail. But we're not there to put them in jail. But he couldn't hurt the brother. Hit him, knocked him up, fell on the pavement, then ran over him. Is that what happened? You see? I'm not going to let nothing happen. And the only reason why that happened was because his father being a rascal. We kept telling him, I said, look, I'm going to get you. Keep that up. You keep going off on your thinking, messing things up. He kept doing it. I said, all right. Just by the time he thought it was all over and whatnot, he had to go to the hospital. Scared him to death. They asked him, said, well, you know why this happened? Yes, sir, I know. We didn't have to tell him. You need that kind of God. You know, and at the time now, since we're not dealing with money, and I hope you listen, we're not dealing with money in a way where we're in competition with the business that white folks got set up. So therefore, since we're not in competition in that way, we're not a threat to him. So he wants to come and help us instead of coming against us. And we're not chasing after him trying to make him do right. We're making ourselves do right, and to him he's saying, man, you all got to be with God. It's got to be divine. You see the difference in the two nations? With the Nation of Islam, every time we go someplace, we got to constantly tell them, united, man, united. You're not with that fair can? No, we're not with him. We're completely different entities. Oh. Then the doors is open. But as long as they think we're with the minister, everything is against them. And the ministers overseas talking about that this country should lift the embargo against these other countries. He better see if he can get the embargo lifted against him. He can't move. And since he can't move, he has abandoned you, black man. He done gone over east and joined with the enemy. He done stuck a knife in your back and gone. He done took all your money. You ain't got no money no more. You done gave it all to him. And what he's doing is not attracting any new people coming in. So the embargo is against him by my permission. Is there anything else left? You want it? Sister? Where I got to go now? All right. Well, I'm going to leave so you all have time to go look at the table. And listen, do not leave and make yourself not make yourself part of this. If you have something to give, give it. If you don't want to give something, you want to purchase what we got, purchase it. Don't walk away and say, well, that sounds good, I'm gone. If you don't have no money at all, and you see something on the table you want, talk to the ones back there. If we didn't put the brother in jail, we most certainly are not going to punish you. Is that understood? And one thing I'll ask you to do, and I'm going to leave after this. When or if you find a God that is greater than I, by all means, immediately get in touch with me. I want to be saved. Salaam alaikum.